I think we should just go ahead and start. We're
All
on
right,
roll already.
I thought we already had.
Well, let's not disappoint. Let's get the intro going.
Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
So, Dave, that makes it official. The show has started now.
Woohoo!
Once we do that, then it's officially started.
I'll give you 2 thumbs up, but sorry. You only get 1.5.
You get 1.5.
1.5.
One.
There you
1.5
go.
Hey,
thumbs up.
you get an A for effort, though. I appreciate that. So, as you can hear in the background, we got crickets and I don't know, sound like a wild coyote or something howling back there. What?
Was it a 2-year-old?
No, those are chickens.
Oh, is it? Okay. Chickens. We got all kinds of wildlife. So this is the outdoor wildlife edition of the Talking Lead podcast. As I got beard hair in my mouth, trying to get out. So welcome in, Leadheads. Appreciate you tuning in to another episode of the Talking Lead podcast. We've got a good show today. Looking forward to this. We're going to have a good time. As you can see, our video audience can see who our guests are. We've got Professor Paul Markle joining us this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Paul, welcome in.
Hello.
And then also, he's not new to the podcast, but he's new to, I think, this is the first time you've been on like a full-blown episode of the podcast, right, Dave?
Yeah, I did we did the remote at, I guess, NRA one year. Was it NRA or SHOT?
NRA or SHOT Show, one of those, yeah.
You and I have spoken multiple times, but yeah, this is the first time I've been official.
The official show. So Dave Biggers, ladies and gentlemen.
I didn't just stick my head and go, "Oh, are you guys recording?" Because I got stuff to talk about.
Yeah. And I can't. How big are the crickets in your garage there, Paul?
Normal size. It's funny that you guys can hear those because, Dave, can
They're
you?
like super loud.
Yes, you have earplugs in. That's why you can't hear them.
Well, I also gave 50% of my hearing to Uncle Sam.
No hearing loss.
That'll have a little bit to do with it.
I just got Quasimodo living in my head. That's the time I don't even think about it, but every now and then it's like, oh my God, that ringing is really, really loud.
You get not only do you have the hearing loss, but you've got extra voices in your head too.
Yeah, I got tinnitus horribly.
Oh,
my tinnitus isn't that bad, and to tell you the truth, Dave, I think my tinnitus got better the more weight I lost and the more weight I lifted.
Well, I have lost. I need to lift more, but that would not.
There you go. Strong buddies.
We're all disciples of Matt Reynolds here. All of us are.
Oh yeah, heck yeah.
Just not as big as Matt.
In fact, I just have one question for the crowd, since we all know him. Who here has choked Matt out?
Dave is the only one raising his hand.
I knew you were going to go there.
The best part is, and I knew this, I don't think he did. Really big muscular dudes, all of that stuff pops out. It's not hiding down in. And I barely, he's looking at me and he's kind of smirking. You know how Matt, and I love Matt. Let me be very clear. He's kind of smirking. He's like, you really think you're going to choke me out? And I'm like, we'll see. I barely got wrapped up, and then we both went to the ground because I could not get loose from the dude. Weighs over 300 pounds. I could not hold him.
Not anymore. He doesn't.
Well, good for him. Good for
former
him.
Strong man.
And this was a training. This is not like, yeah, Matt twerked me off. By God, I choked him out. No. That's not how it happened. But it was
part of training.
It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Yeah. If you've had the privilege of taking a Jaeger class, there's this one in particular that we don't talk about, but yeah.
Well,
It's an experience.
You have to take an advanced class for that. That's not part of the
Right.
That's not a basic.
Not a
class.
beginner
It's an
class.
advanced class.
Definitely not.
Yeah.
Are they still doing that class? That class still available?
I'm sure they are.
As far as I know.
Yeah, I'm sure they are.
I'm sure. Down there in Camden, Tennessee. So welcome in, Leadheads. If you haven't had an opportunity, make sure you go back to our previous episodes. And please forgive the crickets. And again, Paul can't hear them, but they are really loud, Paul. It sounds like we're at a cabin up in the Smokies, there by the river. It's relaxing.
Yeah,
I enjoy it.
Say it should actually add to the ambiance of the episode. People are going to think that you pumped it in just as an audio hack.
Yeah, there you go.
Maybe I did. Maybe I'm just blaming it on you, and that's something I did. I'm testing the audience. But our last episode's the AK Corner drop. So if you didn't get an opportunity, make sure you go back, listen to that. We gave away 2 rifles. We gave away a PPS 43, and we gave away a 7.62 Grom, a wooden one, similar to this, but it had wood furniture, and it had an RPK stock. So that was really cool.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very clubfoot stock. Yeah.
Who doesn't love them some AKs?
Oh, yeah.
If you
got
don't,
one over there.
pick yourself.
There's something wrong with you.
I would say they're communists, but
you know, there's pluses and minuses to everything. That may be the only plus.
That's true. That's true. So if you get an opportunity, go to Pioneer Arms, go to their website. We dropped a new code, AK Corner. That's Alpha Kilo Kilo Oscar Romeo
Nora,
November Echo Romeo whatever AK Corner with a K. And you get some additional monies off. You get $25 additional off and 2 extra mags when you go buy their Blim rifles on their websites. Their website only, pioneerarmsus.com. And they're already smoking deals on there. I mean, they've already got them priced under $600. A lot of them are. So you get an additional 25 plus 2 extra mags. I think they come with 2 mags anyway. So, and I'm sure they'll probably throw some other stuff in there for you guys too, the patches and stickers and stuff like that. CJ really takes care of you lead heads. And as you're listening to this, guys, I guess this will probably be kind of cutting into our 4th of July week. America. That's right. Kind of maybe just pre 4th of July, but I hope everybody is going to get out, enjoy the 4th of July. Whether it's grilling, boating, doing yard work, shooting fireworks, however you choose to go out and celebrate your freedom, your independence, as long as it's not murder like a lot of these illegal immigrants are doing these days. No.
They would never do that.
Stay away.
I just saw in Texas they arrested 2 of the 10 most wanted. They just caught 2.
Yeah.
Of the 10 most wanted illegal immigrants. They have a 10 most wanted list in Texas of illegal immigrants. I mean, I'm sure they could probably do a top 1,000, but
foreign invaders.
Me.
Yeah, foreign invaders. But talking about that kind of gets us into our main topic today. We're going to do a little book review on the latest from our friend Nicholas Orr, Blood Trail, Pipe Hitter's novel. And we're going to get into it. It kind of touches on what we're talking about right now. So we'll get into that as our main topic. But go ahead, Paul. You're going to say something?
No, I was going to say you, Marty, the one you're holding up is not the one that Biggers has, because you are such a powerful and influential member of the media that you got a pre-release copy.
Wow.
So is this not the actual
that's a
cover?
Pre-release copy. No,
yeah, it says right here, not
Stand by. Let me show you what the cheap seats get.
I even got an autograph on mine. So as Dave goes and gets his book, for our listeners, we've talked about Nicholas Orr. We've never had Nicholas Orr on the show, but Paul and I have talked about him. He's got other books, several other books that he's got. Sin City was a good one, and I haven't finished this one yet. I started it, but I haven't finished it. Oh, come on,
man. You got to finish that one. That's a good book.
I know. The other one, I did the other one. What was it called?
The Small Arms, Pipe Hitter's Guide to Small Arms. I sent you that.
No, it was another one of these.
Mine is so popular, I think it's been absconded with.
You couldn't find your book?
It's with everything else that I put, so I will be able to find it, and they're all together, and they're all hiding somewhere, and they mock me. So
okay,
this is over. I'll stumble over it because that's just the way it looks.
Paul, where's your copy?
It's right there. The crickets took it.
That could happen.
I would think they're probably the size of those Afghanistan camel crickets or whatever, the cave crickets, what they call them.
Are those domestic crickets or those foreign invader crickets?
No, those are domestic.
They're awfully noisy, and they're looking for free housing.
Yeah,
I think they're protesting right now.
They have little keffiyehs on.
Holding up their signs.
Oh, I'm sorry. That would be cockroaches. Sometimes I mix my insects up.
A lot of cucarachas.
Yeah.
So
I did read the damn thing, though. So does that?
All right. Well, we'll find out. We're going to find out.
The throwdown.
There will be quizzes.
All right, I'm down.
And I did make a post. So for those that participated in the post asking for your questions, one lucky participant is going to get an autographed version of this. Probably not this one. It's probably going to be the one without this big for resale.
The cover was actually redesigned too.
Oh, so a whole new cover. Does yours have the new cover, Paul?
Yeah. No, mine has the old cover. It says, "I'm a powerful, influential member of the media as well as you."
Mine does have a new cover, but I can't prove it.
Does his website have it on his website? Do you know? Let me go to his website.
Well, it's not on the website yet. Here's where you need to go. It's on Amazon as a Kindle and a paperback. And if you go to Student of the Gun, Shop SOTG, Zachary, Zachary, my son.
The shipping org.
Yeah, the shipping ogre. So the shipping ogre takes care of all of the store stuff. So Zach has actually put all of those books up on the store. So if somebody is looking for a Pimp Hand approved copy, they can go to shopsotg.com.
All right, I'm going to pull it up here. Okay. I'm going to find the way. I had Nicholas's up, but he doesn't have it on his website. Come on. You need to get on his ass about that.
I know. I need to get on the web guy.
All right. So you say it's under the shop. Here's the shop. Books. And there's the blood trail. It's a little different. Let me pull it up here. Let me show you guys. So you know when you go to the Amazonian or you go to the shop STOG, you know which one to look for.
SOTG.
They know what I mean.
They know what you mean.
I think this is it right here. Is this it?
That's it.
All right, there it is. So, yeah, I mean, it's a little bit different. It's pretty much the same, though. Just doesn't have that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, it's not crazy different. I mean,
and there's one operator missing.
Yeah.
There's 4 on mine. There's 2 on that one. Maybe 3. We should make a trivia question out of that.
There's actually 3 on the new cover.
Yeah, there's 3 on that one. There's 4 on mine.
Yeah.
So you got one man down already.
Yeah.
Wow.
He already took one out. So that's where you can go. You can get the book that we're going to talk about today. We're not going to – there will be spoilers, but we're not going to spoil the whole thing for those who haven't read it yet. Because this is
going to tell everybody the end.
This has only been out for a little bit. It hadn't been out that long. So you need to go and get it. Get it while you can. Did it make the #1 seller on Amazon?
No, it did not.
Oh, that's surprising.
The fiction category is a hard category, my friend. And most of the books in the fiction category are not corporate books, shall I say. They're books that are published by a publishing house.
Big companies.
And they've got money for promotion. And all of Nicholas Orr's books are independently published, which means he has to do all the work. So there's no $50,000 ad budget. Like,
well, you do that too with yours, and yours make the bestsellers list, when you put yours out.
Yeah. Fiction
is. Did that one make it beyond the Boo Boo?
No, I don't think that. Well, that was in like medical, which is another pretty heavy category. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of the pipe hitters books, for instance, have been the pipe hitter series. So like a pipe hitter's guide to crushing the coming societal breakdown, right? And then you've got the access denial, you got CIDC, you've got the long range book, you've got the small arms book, which we gave away on your show a few months ago. Yeah. And matter of fact, your boy won that.
My boy.
Your boy won that book.
Which one? Which one's my boy?
The tall one, the ammo. Come on, you made me look like
the guy that looks like that guy that was in that movie.
Yeah, Evan.
Okay.
Yeah. What's his handle?
Floodman. Flood munitions.
Flood munitions. Yeah, that's what.
Flood munitions. Okay. Well, we need to get him on here and do a review of that.
Well, he did. He won that book.
Okay.
When we gave it away on your show, so the Pipe Hitter's Guide to fill in the blank. Those are not fiction. Those are factual. Those are information. Guidebooks.
Sure.
And so what, as you probably realized, and we can talk about that, is what Nicholas Orr did is he created this book, Blood Trail, and it's a fiction novel, but a lot of the lessons that are taught in those books, in the Pipe Hitter's Guidebooks, are blended into the actual, the novel itself.
Yeah, I think.
Well, and we're going to talk about that, and we'll get more into that. But Dave, I'm breaking you in. You're getting the full experience of the show. We're going to be doing the jackwagon train now. So Gunny's got to bring that train in, and we're going to take care of some jackwagons and honor some heroes before we get into talking more about Nick Orr and the Blood Trail.
Introducing our new belly band holster. Whether you're hitting the gym or running a quick errand, our belly band is one of the most comfortable and safest ways to carry your firearm. The center section allows you to carry most common pistols. Left or right-handed, this has you covered. A hard laminate trigger shield protects the firearm's trigger from unwanted intrusion, giving you ease of mind while carrying every day. 2 elastic sleeves give you the flexibility to carry other everyday items, such as spare mags, flashlight, knife, or pepper spray. 2 zippered pockets run on both sides, offering the option to carry smaller items such as money, cards, or keys. Flush fit on your lower back or waist, easily keeping your setup discreet no matter how you choose to carry. Utilizing 3D spacer mesh, these channels allow for exceptional and efficient airflow, giving you maximum comfort and keeping you cool. Carry whenever you want, how you want, with our new belly band holster. Available now.
Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
Think about it, Dave. Think about who your jackwagon is. I know Paul's probably got 5 or 10 jackwagons.
Hoorah, Semper Fi, do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jackwagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
All right, so the Gunny is bringing that train in, and it is on fire. So who is going to make the train this week? So I've got one. I'll kick us off.
Go ahead.
And Dave knows this because Dave's in Tennessee. We've had a lot of storms lately over the last few months. Had some pretty big thunderstorms and had some hail and some tornadoes and all kinds of things. I actually got a storm going on here right now. Pouring down pretty hard right now. But the storm chasers, the people who go out are across the nation, and right after a storm, you get this knock on your door, and it's a roofer. Somebody who's wanting, hey, let me put a new roof on for you. You guys just had a storm, kind of deal. I had some come by today. They said there was, that storm we had on the 16th. I think it was the 16th or something like that. They're like, some of your neighbors have, they had hail damage and this, that, and the other. I was like, there was no hail here. I had no hail in this subdivision whatsoever. They're like, you on the 16th? Your neighbors over here. I was like, no. I said, where are you out of? They're like, oh, we're based out of some place up in McMinnville, Tennessee, or something like that, or Mount Juliet, or I was like, okay. And they've got these northern accents.
Yep.
It's like, you ain't from Tennessee, buddy. Don't try to pull that.
They're storm carpetbaggers.
Storm chasers, and they come, and then they again, adding to the problem that we have here, they go and get that undocumented labor, and they'll come knock your roof out in half a day. They'll rip it off and then throw some cheap shit, over it. And then, you're having all kinds of leaks and having all kinds of problems with it. And you try to track them down. You call them, say, hey, I got some problems with your and the numbers changed or disconnected or something like that. So those are my jackwagons. Taking advantage of people, that's why our insurance is so jacked up too, is because, they'll go to your insurance company and convince them that you need a new roof. And I don't know about you guys, but my insurance this past year, my homeowners, they tried to more than quadruple it.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the hell? I've not had a claim in 10 years, and this, that, and the other. Well, it's other people's, and you have to pay for other people's.
You got all those houses out in Malibu that keep getting washed down every year, and they still insure them.
You also get
somewhere
jackwagons like this that go and replace people's roofs that don't need replacing, and the insurance companies will pay it, and then it just jacks everything up. And they've tried to change the policy now, and I've talked to a different couple of insurance companies where they won't do a full roof replacement. They depreciate your roof, and they only will pay out depreciated value on it, kind of deal. So if you've had a roof for 15 years, they're not going to pay for a brand new roof.
That's like buying a $50,000 truck, driving it for 3 years, and then giving you $24,000, and they're like, well, I guess it just sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Like, exactly. But I can't buy a new truck for $24,000. They're like,
yeah, and I can't pay this one off, and I can't drive it because it's totaled.
Yep.
It's like, what do you do? The biggest criminals there is the insurance companies, them and the pharmaceuticals.
And they got lots of lobbyists. So
I guess that's where it's at, having lobbyists, finding people to bribe.
Yes, sir.
So that's my jackwagon. What about you guys? You got jackwagons?
Oh,
Paul, who's your jackwagon?
Like every person in the Democrat Party, every person in the FBI, every person in the ATF. Oh man, I sent you guys a couple of things to talk about in regard to this, but I don't have anybody specifically that I want to call out.
So the debate's coming up. What? Give me some of your thoughts on the big presidential debate that's coming up with.
Oh,
Trump.
Dear Lord in heaven, dear Lord, I can't. I just can't stand it. I just can't stand it. It's amazing to me that we're still playing this game where you have people that are ostensibly our watchdogs, our spokesmen. You know, when you and I were kids, I know when Dave and I were kids, that they referred to the media as the fourth estate, right? As the watchdogs of democracy, as the ones that won't let anybody in government get away with any chicanery. And that's gone by so long ago. The fact that those people are still pretending like that dementia-riddled meat puppet is a legitimate world leader it's criminal. I mean, it's literally criminal. Their behavior is criminal. And this psyop or gaslighting or whatever you want to call it, they send that nappy-headed black lesbian out to tell everybody that what you're seeing with your own eyes isn't really what you're seeing. You know, it's just
I love that part. Well, that's not what he said. It actually is what he meant. Well, that's right. Yeah, but you don't understand.
He didn't say anything. He walked off stage like he was lost.
Yeah, well, that's because he was.
His handlers had to go find him and turn him around.
He was escorted off stage.
He was escorted off. You know, half the time, if his nurse Jill isn't there, somebody else has to go and grab him and pull him back. And did you notice how she said cheap fake, not deep fake? Because if she'd have said deep fake, they'd have been all over that. They're like, no. And what cheap fake is this actual video footage of the meat puppet that they don't want you to see, and that they're mad that you did see.
Untouched, unedited.
Yeah.
Direct, straight video of exactly what happened, and that's cheap fake.
When we were watching live from Normandy, as his nurse came and escorted him off to change his diapers. Okay, that wasn't a faked video. That actually happened.
Yeah. Well, they won't show the whole thing where he testified, in spite of the fact that you've got the dialogue is written down. They will not allow the video of him saying that to be shown, which that's a red flag, right? What was he drooling?
Because
he already sounds like a moron. What was he doing?
Incriminating, or it's demoralizing, or something that they're trying to hide from the public. Yes. I mean, obviously, and this public is smart enough to know that that's what's going on and what's happening.
I think there's about 30% that don't know enough to eat unless somebody.
No, I think they do, Dave. I think they actually do, and they're the problem is because they don't want to see it and they don't want to believe it, but they know it's true.
Right. Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely right.
Because they'll literally have to face the problem.
Yep.
Right.
And they don't want to face the problem.
Can I have a jack wagon?
Absolutely. Yeah, you're up next, brother. Go ahead.
Remember back when there used to be this group and they were called feminist?
Yeah.
Where did they go? Did they all get on a jack wagon and ride out of town?
Oh no,
they completely just disappeared. It's like, so men are now taking over feminine roles in sports. So where's the freaking feminist? Where are you? Now you actually have something to talk about, and strangely enough.
And crickets. I think they're in Paul's garage.
There you go. That's it. Now we know where they are.
They're in Paul's
Dave,
garage.
you know where they went. That movement died under Clinton. That movement died under Bill Clinton because everything that he did was so anti-feminist, so misogynistic, so sexist. I mean, he used women like toys and threw them away.
Yeah.
And they sacrificed their, quote, beliefs to the party.
Well, the LGBTQ whatever's the new feminist. That's your new feminist. That's what they evolved into. So
I believe you're correct.
But that is a great point, Dave. I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things that really twists me. So.
Well, you guys, you've got. Yeah, I'm sure you understand, and the audience needs to understand that liberalism is their religion, and all of these ostensible 100%. Beliefs have to be sacrificed to their religion.
Yep.
Whether you're a feminist, they sacrifice their beliefs to support Bill Clinton, a serial rapist. Yep. Right? They had to sacrifice those beliefs. Look at Catholics. Democrat Catholics, their God is liberalism. Their God is liberalism.
Democrat Jews.
Democrat Jews.
Even more obvious.
More
obvious.
The never again Jews. Never again. Okay, how are we going to never again? By disarming the peasants so that the government has 100% authority over what you do and where you go and which camp you go to?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great jackwags. I don't have any more. I usually have 3 or 4, but I think once we get into our main topic here, that's this really our jackwagon is what we're going to be talking about here with the blood trail. It's going to get us probably on all kinds of chase some squirrels and things like that. But what about heroes? What about Dave? A hero is somebody who's the opposite of a jackwagon, that's doing something good in our society and in our world that's actually making a difference, but they don't get the recognition that they need.
Jordan Peterson.
Okay. And why Jordan Peterson? What's he doing?
He refuses to back down. He refuses to give in. The dude does not give 1 inch at all. They keep trying to throw stuff at him, and he's too smart to go for it. And he usually runs literal circles around the people that he's talking to. And they just keep, but it's not fair. And he's like, yeah, life is not fair, but it's not fair. Yeah, we already discussed that. Now we're moving on. And he's not being kowtowed by the Canadian government, who has come down on him like a ton of bricks. He is not kowtowing to the universities, who think he is the Antichrist. And just the fact that, he says, you know what? Young men do not have a good time right now. This is not a good time to be a young man, and it's not fair to them. And if you think destroying either sex for the profit of the other is just wrong. It doesn't matter which way that goes. And I've never understood that. It was like, if you're finally on top, shouldn't you celebrate that? Right. Shouldn't you be happy about it? But if you have to demonize the other side, and my personal favorite phrase, toxic masculinity, I love that.
Is that still a thing? Is that still a thing? People are still saying,
yeah. Well, now you got to, because the LGBTQ pi squared. I
don't know. It seems to me like a lot of this males and female sports. It seems to me that more and more people are becoming against that than are for it.
Yes,
they're finding their balls. You mean?
And people are actually coming out and speaking against it and saying, that it's ridiculous.
Usually when their daughter loses the state title to a dude, and all of a sudden it's a big deal. Beforehand, it was like, well, maybe it's only fair.
Well, it's that old adage, well, if it's not affecting me, then why would I care?
Yeah, that's the American people in a nutshell. It's like, well, it's not on my front porch right now. So I don't care until it gets to my front porch. Then I'm going to care.
Yeah.
And that's why we're in the position that we're in right now.
We're reactive and not proactive. You got to be very proactive on this. And
or you get run over.
And that's why we're in the situation that we're in now. It's like you were talking about, Jordan Peterson doesn't give an inch. Well, we've given inches, over the past 50 years. And those inches we never got back. We just kept, giving, stopping, giving. Let them take a little more, so we never got it back.
It's only
we have to start taking back.
Through Datenland. It's not that big. It's only Czechoslovakia. It's only Poland.
Yeah.
Oh crap! It's how did this happen?
Yeah. It's only changing the sign on a bathroom. It's only So
it's in the interest of being fair.
Yeah, it's nice. It's just. Yeah, well, we went from what people do in the privacy of their own bedrooms is their business to we're gonna indoctrinate your children into our cult.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as you mentioned earlier, you and I are a bit older than Lefty.
Yeah,
transvestites. That was a sexual fetish. They derive sexual gratification for dressing as women and going out in public. And people forgot that. That's what it was all wrapped around. Now they do it in school in front of children. By the way, I was thinking about this the other day, all these parades they have. How many women go out there trying to be men who dress like the dudes who are trying to be freaking stage dancers at a topless bar?
Chippendales?
No, you've seen what I'm talking about. It just, if it wasn't, why would you be walking around in a G-string if it doesn't have something to do with your sexual fetish?
Well, you guys were talking about, you're older than me, a little bit older than me. Yeah, I mean, but we're still kind of the same age. But you remember it used to be.
I don't know about that, Lefty. How old are you, Lefty?
I'm 53.
I'm 65.
Okay, so
there's a 12-year-old in between. No, I know. I'm with you.
Yeah. I had two older brothers also, so
right. I'm messing with you, dude.
But anyway, so my point was, back in the day, it was a comedic kind of thing. So Milton Berle, you remember Milton Berle?
Oh yeah.
Yep. He was famous for dressing up like a woman, cross-dressing and doing comedic acts.
Yeah.
There was somebody else who did that too.
Flip Wilson. A lot of people that did that.
Flip Wilson
did that. You had
Robin Williams in the movie Mrs. Doubtfire.
Exactly. That's exactly
Tony Curtis.
Yeah, some like it hot.
Tony Curtis. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So I mean, it's been around, but like you said, it was something different back in those days, to where it's evolved into where people were like, oh, that's just what Milton Berle did. Well, no, this person has a mental issue. They've got psychological issues.
Milton Berle wasn't trying to convert your children into his cult.
No,
right. He wasn't trying to indoctrinate your children into his sick cult, because they can't
get laughs.
The the alphabet mafia people cannot reproduce on their own based on their own choice, so they have to recruit your children into their cult.
Well, there is an undercurrent right here, and I think that this is a piece of it. We already know that you got the freaking head of Microsoft, whatever that knucklehead's name is. They literally believe there are too many people on the planet. The only way to save the planet is to have less humanity. Well, one of the easiest ways to do that is to keep people from reproducing. And the easiest way to make that happen is they're physically incapable of reproducing. So
you mean like giving them a shot that makes them sterile?
Well, that's like one of the theories that the one world order, that's one of their master plans.
I don't even think
it's not a theory. They went out and said it in public.
Yeah.
Well, they did. They have. Yeah.
They literally said it in public that
What's that German guy? What's the German guy?
Klaus Schwab, and his head of scientific research went out and said that there's too many people, and that their goal is to reduce the world population.
Yep.
Yet he's still sucking up oxygen.
Yep.
Sounds kind of hypocritical to me.
It's the same people that fly Lear jets and then wag their finger at us because we got a diesel pickup. Yeah, I'm the one destroying the planet.
There you
go. We talk about books today?
We're going to. We're getting there. We're trying to get heroes. We're trying to find some heroes in all this.
Turn.
Hey, I kicked mine. Yeah, it's about time. Let's go.
All right. My hero is a guy named Alex Bosco.
Alex Bosco.
Who's Alex Bosco?
I've heard that name.
He's the guy who invented the stabilizing brace.
Oh,
He's the guy who organized people in our industry to put up their money to fight and file lawsuits against the overreach of the ATF. And he's been doing that for a couple of years, since the 21 or 22. And what we just saw was the culmination of his efforts. So all you guys who are happy that you don't have to hide your braces anymore, you don't have to hide your braces anymore, because Alex Bosco and a bunch of other people in the industry put up a crazy amount of money for attorneys and lawyers' fees to fight the overreach of our government. So and if you don't know who that is, well, you should. And we're we've had Alex on the show a couple of times. We're going to have him on next week.
There's a lot of crap that is coming out as a result of that and that one hearing and the one finding, because people are now looking at the ATF going, they've been doing what? Like, yeah, they write laws every day, but they can't do that. Yeah,
and we've been telling them for decades that's what's been going on.
They can't write law. Right. Well, it's not a law. It's a what do they call it?
A rule.
A ruling.
Rule.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Where in the Constitution does it say that bureaucrats get to create laws via ruling? Unelected.
Where does it say I have to follow a rule either? I don't have to follow rules.
Or definition. We redefined that.
Mm-hmm.
We changed our minds.
Yeah.
And
there you go. That's a great hero, Alex Bosco. Yeah.
Alex Bosco. Yeah.
Yeah. Good call.
Who's your hero, Lefty?
So my hero are you guys. You guys. And Nicholas Orr.
You got to work hard. Okay, Nicholas, I'm down with that.
Yeah, and Nicholas, because even though this is a work of fiction, as you guys are going to find out, that Blood Trail is really based on real life, what's happening, what's going on in our United States today. It's exactly what we're experiencing. So with that said, let's get in and let's talk about Nicholas Orr's Blood Trail.
Okay.
Whiskey River Beef, farm to table with a twist. Come along with us on a quest towards achieving self-sufficiency in food production and fostering a robust local food source to promote good health. Stock up with premium Tennessee beef, unparalleled in flavor and tenderness. You can be confident that you're receiving beef with no added growth hormones or implants. Always pasture-raised, locally USDA processed, and shipped straight to your home. Whiskey River Beef is grass and whiskey mash fed and finished, and is at least 14 days dry aged to enhance the tenderness and give you the most robust flavor imaginable. Go to whiskeyriverbeef.com today to order. Visit us on Instagram at Whiskey River Life and on Facebook at Whiskey River Beef LLC. Whiskey River Beef is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade.
Yeah,
his latest and greatest. So right off, what I noticed is, and I could be wrong because I haven't read all of his books. There's a couple that I missed, but there are new characters in this book. Am I wrong?
No, all the characters. None of the characters in that book are in the Operator series.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. And there were so many people that were introduced in this book. I was just like, oh wow, here's another guy, and here's another guy, here's another guy. Okay, maybe these are tying into maybe one of the books that I missed, but it read. I mean, you could just, if you've never read a Nicholas Orr book, you could pick this up and not miss out on anything. So it doesn't really tie into previous books.
It's a standalone.
There you go, standalone.
Well, all good sequels can be read by themselves. And that is the conundrum for authors, is if you write a sequel, a book 3 or a book 4 or a book whatever, and you're talking about a character, you always have to keep in mind that there are people who have that book in their hands that haven't read the first 2 or what have you. So you got to drop those little, you kind of have to go back and give a little bit more of their background. Sure. You have to reintroduce the character. Even though, let's say, in book 1, it talks all about his background. He was in the military, he did this, Well, when you get to book 2 and you introduce him, you got to throw them a little bit, so that I know I've done that in my lifetime. When I was in the Marine Corps, when we were over in the desert, we didn't have iPhones. We had a cardboard box filled with paperback books, and we'd just go and you grab a paperback book out and you'd read it. And there were many times that I would get a book that I had no idea that it was part 3 of a series, and I just read that book, So that's a task or a job that authors, they really have to take seriously. They can't assume that everyone who's reading the 2nd or the 3rd or the 4th book has read the first one. So they got to do that work to for the reader.
Yeah, and that a lot of your better authors do that because, again, if you're tying into previous books, you got to give the new reader the incentive to want to go back and read those other books and find actually know what's going on in this book too. But not having to do that in this one, so I was appreciative of that. But just quick overview. What is this book about? Who wants to just give a quick little down and dirty? You want me to?
Dave can, or you can.
No, go ahead, Dave. Oh, let's hear from Dave.
All right. Well, I'll give you a little bit about it as well, backstory. So I am from Texas. Almost every area that he talks about in there, like at one point they're going on a pig hunting in Childress, Texas. I've been pig hunting in Childress, Texas. I'm from Fort Worth. All those places out there I'm intimately familiar with. In fact, he called a couple of hospitals by different names and I'm sitting there and I'm like, nope, that's not what it's called.
And a news outlet, he called it by a different name.
Yeah, the Star Tribune instead of the Star Telegram. But yeah, it's and I think the thing that I like the most about it is because there is a little bit of the differences between what goes on in that book and what was going on with COVID, because part of the things that they realize, and it's people that are coming from it's invaders, and they start causing grief over here. But before even that got going, it's a group of guys, and I just had somebody approach me about this recently. It's a group of guys who are acting as church security and want to stand up a church security team. And there's some internal politics that are going on with that. And they decide, you know what, we're going to be ready no matter what. So if we have to, we'll just do this on our own and keep it quiet. Well, then bad things start happening. And just like, Paul and I were talking about this earlier. 9/11 was not a shock to anybody who paid attention. We were amazed that it took that long to happen, but it was not a shock. So when these guys start saying that there are bad actors that are doing things that are affecting the country, infrastructure starts getting blown up, people start going into mass panic. The first thing that they do is they start gathering their community together and saying, look, instead of you being locked in your house, listening to a 24/7 news cycle of gloom and doom and false information, we're a support group. We're going to take care of each other. We're going to keep each other informed. And it kind of starts off like that. And they start, from the church group, they start looking at other people that they know and their friends and friends of friends and going, are these people that we should include in our group so that if things start getting even worse than they already are, we have an entire network. It's just not one or two people. And they start building their network. And I kept thinking about that. The thing that I think touched me the most, I was thinking, you know what? If when they started ordering people to stay at home and they started going crazy over the COVID crap, if communities had said, you know what? Be quiet. We're going to take care of our own group here. You don't want us mingling with other people? That's fine. But our block, our 2 blocks, our church, our community, we're looking out for us. And we're going to take care of us. And you don't need to mess with us. And it's to an extent, that's kind of where it goes. I mean, it gets into more than that. But the thing that touched me the most was the fact that, and, the other thing, you hear so many people that they're survivalists or they're preppers or whatever, but they're trying to do it as a solo. That doesn't work. You got to have other people. You got to have somebody to watch your back. You got to have somebody that knows how to work on a car. You got to have a med guy, preferably a doctor. And they're starting to kind of formulate that. They were already on the road to it, but as things became more aggressively worse, they started going, okay, we need to focus on some other things. We need to bring this in more. And, to an extent, they're doing like people did in the old days. It's like one of the characters is on a deployment and he's got a wife and a kid. And they're like, you know what? We got to watch out for those people. It's like, who are old folks? Okay,
take care of our neighbors.
Somebody needs to go by and check on them. Does everybody have food, water, meds, and enough to get you through for the next few weeks? If you don't, let us know. We're a community, and we will pull
our
together
resources
the way that
together.
Americans always used to do, and we'll move from there. And that's the part that I like the most about it. The organization in itself and stuff, I've read a bunch of different stuff that's interesting, but the single biggest thing to me was now we're a community. As a community, this is how we're going to address this.
Yeah.
And, I really
like the way it started is it started as a church group.
Yep.
Because of, things that have happened in the past to other churches, they were seeing the need to put this fire team together at, security team, they call it, at their church. And they started organizing it that way. And of course, the resistance that they were meeting through that. But this all takes place down in Texas, down close to the border. So, that's kind of where the immigration issue that we're talking about comes into play. And, like you guys were saying, you're not surprised that 9/11 happened when it happened. Well, with, 8 to 10 to 20 million illegal, undocumented immigrants coming in, people, you call them immigrants. They're not really immigrants. They're not really migrating. A lot of them are just bad actors that have been sent here to cause chaos.
Military-age males without their families.
And a lot of them aren't, the majority of them aren't Mexicans. They aren't of Latin descent. They're of African. They're of, further down south, Venezuelan, like you said, military type ages. I was going to say hijabs, but whatever.
I was going to say Middle Eastern, but
Middle Eastern, yeah. Somalian. Paul, you're muted, by the way, just so we could hear Dave talk.
Okay, can I be unmuted now?
Yeah, if you're going to talk.
Well, no, it's fine. Something that I really appreciated, and I believe. Do you guys know who a former Green Beret turned military correspondent named Michael Yon is?
Yep.
Michael Yon is a friend of a friend, and he's been ringing the alarm bells for a couple of years.
Yep.
He's actually taken congressmen to the Darien Gap. Most people, they hear Darien Gap, they're like, okay, it's a place, but whatever. Well, there's this thing in the world called the Pan American Highway, and it's the longest navigable highway on planet Earth. It goes from Alaska all the way down to the tip of Argentina. But there is one spot on that highway where they cannot have navigable roads, bridges, and so on and so forth. And it's in Panama, and it's in the Isthmus. I know it's not like I have a speech impediment. The Isthmus of Darien. And it is the gap in the Pan American Highway. And it is some of the most inhospitable jungle on planet Earth. And it used to be controlled. It was controlled for about 30 to 40 years by the FARC, the Colombian Revolutionary Communists. And the FARC weren't just like, 10 dudes who were mean. They had literally thousands and thousands of troops. And because they were an outlaw organization, they went, like all outlaw organizations do, they went into the jungles and they essentially controlled the Darien Gap. You didn't get to go in and out of and traverse the Darien Gap without the permission of FARC, right? Well, the UN, as you guys may or may not know, the UN brokered a peace deal between the Colombian government and the FARC, and they strong-armed the Colombian government into recognizing them as a legitimate political party.
That sounds familiar, doesn't it?
And so when they did that, they got what I would call dispensation, where the FARC would lay down their arms, and so they sent the turds in blue helmets down there to collect up the guns and so on and so forth. And what that did, and this has only been like 2017, 2018. This is very recent.
Yep.
So when the UN eliminated the FARC as a threat, what they did essentially was, not Darien, Illinois, the Darien Gap, the Isthmus. What they did was they eliminated or they removed the FARC control of that area of the Panamanian-Colombian border. And miraculously, over the last 4 years, people from 147 countries have just accidentally found themselves in Panama.
Accidentally, yeah.
Yeah. So the big question, that is asked in the book is, how does somebody who's dirt poor, living in a village in West Africa, get a ticket on a boat and find themselves in Panama, and then they find themselves on a coach liner bus cruising up the Pan American Highway to the Texas border? That just happens by itself. That's just a bunch of people who want a better life for themselves. So they went from Turkmenistan to Panama and took a bus to the Texas border. And how do you get Nicaragua, Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico, how do you get all these, and Panama, to agree to let people with no passports, no vetting whatsoever, get on buses and drive through your country?
Unchecked.
How does that happen?
Past, they would have shot you.
They would have.
In fact, as a gringo, go down there and try to walk across some of those borders. See how that works for you.
It's because money got involved somehow.
Whose money? Who's paying for the buses?
Yep.
Who's paying to transport people from all over the world to Panama?
Yep.
Somebody is.
Who's letting them in our borders? Who's letting them across our borders?
Who
might have something to do with it.
Who signed a bill halting the Trump border wall? You know, the Biden administration, they very quietly put all that material, the material that was sitting there waiting to be turned into a border wall, they sold it for pennies on the dollar just to steal scrapyards and so forth. So that
needed money for the Ukraine.
Yeah, so that even if if Trump comes back again, the material that was supposed to be used to finish the wall is gone.
Yep.
Why would you do that?
Yeah, that was
it wasn't just a wall. You know, that's what a lot of people misunderstand, is that his plan wasn't just a wall. There was a whole lot of other things built into that security-wise that was helping to prevent and monitor and catch you. There were, video devices. There were, drones. There were vehicles. There were motion detection. Yeah, motion detection devices that were also a part of this wall funding. That it wasn't just a wall. I mean, there was a whole lot of technology that was also being provided for the border security that we lost, and that these border agents lost. When that was canceled.
Trump knew what was coming from Darien. He knew what was coming. That's why he pushed the wall so hard. And that's why we had to get rid of him, so that that his plan could be stopped, so that your replacements could come into the country.
Yeah. So this book is giving a firsthand account of some do-good-wellers, or what do you call them? Bad guys, basically.
Ne'er-do-wells, yeah.
Ne'er-do-wells, that's it. That are coming through this passage that you're talking about, making their way to their destination in America, and things that happen to them along the way. But everything, what I like about it are all the locations. You can look these locations up, and the actual locations, and follow their path, and see exactly, how it is, where it is that these people are coming through. And then
there's a map of the Pan American Highway in the book. You can see what that path is. Yeah.
There wasn't in my book. I had to look it up. I had to Google it.
In my book.
So you got the, I got the pre.
Yeah.
You got a special one of a kind pre.
You got the limited edition.
Marty, you have one of 3 books.
Nice.
You have one of 3 pre-release books in existence. The other one went to Jim Shepard, of the Outdoor Wire, who reviewed it, and the other one went to Dan Zimmerman of Shooting News Weekly, who also reviewed it.
Nice.
Hey, Dan. You know, it's
well, I'm giving my review on it now without trying to give any spoilers, but I really enjoyed this read from Nicholas Orr. I mean, honestly, I liked it better than his other books. This is my favorite Nicholas Orr book so far. I really enjoyed it that much. I mean, the detail that he went into in describing the places, the areas, the people, the bad players in it as well, and some of the it's stuff. It's just ripped right out of the news. It's you could just go to any border news story right now, and this is what's going on. It's in the news right now that 400 something immigrants have come into our country through the southern border through ISIS connected traffickers.
Yep.
And 50 of those they've completely lost track of. There's 50 of them running through our country right now, ISIS related individuals that they have no idea where they're at, of those 400 that they let through this.
And what did they bring in with them? What was in their backpacks? They don't know. They have no idea.
No.
They call them getaways. They're like, well, people that we think that we were so busy, and the border agents are completely overwhelmed, and they're completely overwhelmed on purpose. They're
understaffed,
overwhelmed,
undermanned. They don't have any of that technology that they were getting through the Trump's border wall plan. So yeah, they're severely handicapped.
Yeah, you can task a keyhole satellite any place in the world except our southern border.
Yeah. But people overlook our northern border too. People are coming through our northern border as well.
Oh yeah,
like they just got some recently.
Yeah. So, this is a real existing problem that, and as Nicholas goes through and points out in the book, the good guys that are in this, this group of patriots that are trying to come together, bring their community together, and make them more safe. Of course, they're meeting resistance. There's a bunch of Karens, at this church that are resisting bringing these bad firearms into their world, even as their neighbor cities and towns have been attacked. There's been shootings, and they still have and you hear that today. The same scenarios going on. I mean, wasn't there a Catholic church or something that was just recently attacked in the news?
Probably. Well, there was just two churches in a synagogue that were attacked in Russia.
It was a synagogue. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was actually two. In Russia, the ISIS-K attacked. They attacked and burned a synagogue, and they hit two churches and a synagogue simultaneously.
Totally unrelated. Totally unrelated.
Oh, yeah, totally unrelated.
But that won't happen here because there's no bad people in America.
But that's the thing too, is that Nicholas is making the connection that, okay, well, yeah, I mean, we know that ISIS hates Christians and American and Westerners and wants to kill them and do away with them. But there are other countries that are non-religious, have non-religious reasons as to why they want to wipe out and do away with weaken America. And, he's making the connection that, if these people were to team up together and work as a unit, where we got our eyes over here on people that are attacking Jews, the ISIS, the Muslims, but there's this other group that doesn't fit that, profile.
Right. The day workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that are here, that have been here for decades and decades, people that we're used to seeing and service our lunch and, work on our roofs, kind of deal.
How many Americans could look at someone and say, well, that person's actually not Mexican. They're from Colombia, or they're from Venezuela, or they're from Ecuador, or whatever. They can't. That they in Texas, they just arrested 2 monsters for raping and murdering a 12-year-old girl from illegal invaders from Venezuela.
Yep.
Yeah, that was 2 of the people on that 50 most wanted list I was telling you about that they just arrested.
How many more of our daughters are we going to sacrifice on the altar of liberalism before we decide, no more?
All of them.
Our product, CLP Plus, is a bio-based, non-toxic, complete gun care. Your cleaning time will be reduced by over 50%. I like to say it's a clean shoot, clean shoot, clean shoot for it to fully remove whatever product you've had on there before. It's like seasoning a cast iron skillet. So all I like to do is you'll field strip it like this, go piece by piece. Basically all I do, I'll take the nylon brush into the paste and you start covering. Come back, clean each piece, and then even on the handles, on the outside and on the inside. With our product, you wipe it all off. You don't leave any on there. From grains and all, stick it in. It's safe on all metals, plastics, composites, wood, rubber, leather. I just use a nylon brush and then a bore jag with one of our pre-saturated patches. You put it in, swipe, coming back, you can see what it's pulled out. And this was a brand new firearm. With our product, your malfunctions from carbon buildup are virtually eliminated because carbon will not be building up. There's nothing to stick to. And all of our product is USA source and made. Grab the microfiber cloth and back and you'll wipe it off. And you'll wipe all the product off now. There you go. It's that simple.
Well, and again, the majority, I do believe, the majority of America feels that way. And it's that small percentage that has the control over the narrative of what goes out and what's disseminated to us that makes it seem otherwise.
Yep.
But we're smart enough to know that that's bullshit.
Yep.
That's not actual. That's not really what's happening. That's not the case. And same thing with the election. Everybody knew it just didn't smell right. The election did not smell right. Something was wrong with something is not right. But
they actually come out now.
Go ahead.
4 years later, they're like, well, yeah, we went ahead and filed charges against this guy, this election commissioner, for certifying 5,000 illegal ballots. But it's been 4 years, so I mean.
Yeah, and those 5,000 wouldn't have made a difference. So
they still deny it every day. There's somewhere else where they catch somebody else who was a bad actor, but then immediately after that they'll say, and then you got these people that swear there was election interference. You just reported it. Did you not listen to your own report? That was the
5,000 here, 10,000 there, 50,000 here. What? It's not like they focus deliberately on swing states and swing districts. It's not like they did that.
No.
But it's the constant lying and telling you, and different. And there are things that have backed up and proved it. COVID, when we were in the midst of the COVID, it just didn't smell right. It didn't seem right. It's not adding up. And when people would come out and talk against it, then, they were shot down. They were arrested. They were, some people were probably even killed. But now we're coming to find out that, everything that we thought about COVID was true.
And you know what, Marty? All the people, this is my jackwagon even more than the others.
Okay.
I had good friends that told me that I hated people. I only gave a crap about myself. I didn't care about anybody else on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
So now, do any of those son of a guns call me up and say, hey, I'm really sorry that I vilified you.
I was wrong.
I'm really sorry that I disowned you and that we're no longer friends.
No apologies.
No, we're just going to – they even had the little campaign. Well, let's just forgive and forget.
Yeah, let's just move on.
Lives. People died.
And why is Fauci not in jail? Why is Fauci not in jail?
Yeah.
Well, there were people who put their entire life savings into small businesses that were destroyed and bankrupt.
Yes.
Where do they go for reparations? Where do they go for relief? Nowhere. They're just screwed. Oh, well, get on a government program. That's the solution. Well, you need to get on a government program. I just saw, I don't know if you guys saw it, that the IRS now is going through and they're auditing the COVID relief, and they're denying claims, and they're telling people that they have to repay the COVID relief money that they applied for when their businesses were destroyed by these megalomaniacs.
Yep.
Well, like any of those programs, there were people that did take advantage of that.
Oh yeah.
But there were some that actually needed it. Yeah, I mean,
it was set up to be taken advantage of, and I think more people took advantage of it than actually needed it and got it. Because there's always people with their hand out, no matter what's going on.
But I guarantee you, those people won't have to pay anything back. It'll be the people that actually needed it and used it, and had to survive, and they got nothing to show for it.
They're going. What they're doing is just like the AFT, like Biden likes to say, the AFT. They're going back now, and they're redefining approvals. So they're like, well, we approved you, and we sent you that money, but you know what? Now that we've had time to think about it, we changed our minds, and you really weren't eligible. So you need to give us all that money plus interest back right now, or we're going to seize your estate. We're going to seize your house. We're going to seize your bank account because we changed our minds.
Yeah. Sounds like an ATF ruling.
We told you that for 10 years you could have that, but we don't want you to have that anymore. So we're just going to. You have to surrender it. And hey, where
that's now a machine gun. We're going to call that a machine gun now. So
today,
that piece of plastic that does nothing is a machine gun today. Yeah. Idiots.
So,
complete
my curiosity for you guys is, one of the things that I believe that Mr. Orr did was he addressed problems, but he also tried to infuse solutions.
Yep.
And one of the main, I would say, takeaway from the book is the solution is not to look to Washington, D.C. to fix your problems.
Yes.
If that's what you're thinking, well, bad stuff's happening, but the government will make sure we're all safe.
Yeah.
I believe
never rely on the government.
A reader that reads with an open mind will see there are actually solutions in this book, not just problems.
Yes.
So for those listeners who aren't familiar with Nicholas Orr, here's a little blurb about Nicholas Orr. Nicholas Orr is the nom de plume. What's that mean, Paul? What's nom de plume? I don't speak French.
Pen name. You know what that means. Shut up. You went to high school.
For a civilized barbarian, a savage gentleman with 30-plus years of operational and combat experience in the United States and overseas. The author has carried a gun during innumerable assignments worldwide as a member of the United States military, as a military contractor, and executive protection agent. Though this is a work of fiction, the circumstances are based upon 3 decades of real-world experience, which it shows in the places that he talks about and some of the operational maneuvers that these groups are using, some of the equipment. Although I would like him to go a little more detail about the kit and gear that some of these people use. I would enjoy that a little more, but I mean, I'm a geek.
Well, what just happened
with
Nicholas Orr. Book 2 is called Cut Off, and it is now available as a pre-sale on Kindle.
Ooh. Like the sequel to this?
Yes. If you go to Kindle right now and look that up on Amazon.
Well, hold on. We haven't got there yet. Hold on.
I got to write that down when you say it. Carry on.
Yeah, we haven't got there yet. But it goes on. It says, as with any work of fiction, the names, characters, businesses, places, events, locales, and incidents are either the product of the author's imagination or used in a fictitious manner. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or actual events is purely coincidental, as far as you know. And again, when I was looking I actually went to the Google and I was looking up these areas and I was, zooming in and, these churches and the newspaper and, things like that. I was like, no, this is actual. I mean, he's done a lot of research for his book. So
Fort Worth and Keller, you get the impression he lived there for a while.
It just brings a whole nother sense of reality to it. So especially people who are familiar with the area, and you go, yeah, I know exactly where they're. They're only 2 miles apart, and this church would be on this corner, and that kind of stuff. So
I do have to recommend a shooting range for him at some point, though. I know where an outdoor range is that's close to where he works.
Yeah. So, but the book, it doesn't complete in this. So there is to be continued at the end because it leaves you hanging. It's a cliffhanger, kind of deal. So I got to, and I was like, oh man, he got me.
So Dave, there was so much character. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, Dave, I want you to. So you read, I think you just read today, the Texas governor's press conference. That comes right towards the end of the book.
Yep.
Any impressions from that?
Sounded vaguely familiar in some things that should be happening. The fact that the governor of Texas, while not quite the person in the character, his heart and his brain are right up there, and I think his moxie is as well. But yeah, the overall thing, it's like, once again, if you're waiting on the U.S. government to save you, you're going to be waiting. That is not going to happen. And the more centralized you are as far as taking care of your own region, your own town, your own city, because quite frankly, I think that's where a lot of the problems in our country have come from. We used to be individual communities and everybody looked out for each other. For the most part, the churches ran the hospitals. The schools were locally controlled. And if you look at everything that we have handed over to a large central government, it has all gone to crap because different regions have different problems. And it is not a one-size-fits-all solution. Yeah. It's just like the morons, and I use it in, it's like we're not the only ones. Canada and Australia, you got people that live in the big cities that are like, why does anybody need a gun? Meanwhile, there's people out in the middle of nowhere who are days away from help and live around stuff that will eat them. They need those, and if you never get out of your little glass booth, you're not even worried about it. That's not something that happens. But if you're out there, that's a whole nother world. That is a whole nother
I think
world.
That's something that before these legislators, these lawmakers can rule on and make a law, they have to actually go and experience what they're trying to legislate. I think that should be a requirement.
You mean like the ones that don't know how a trigger works on a firearm?
Yeah.
I mean, Clarence Thomas had to go to Patrick Sweeney's book and pull schematics out to show the justices this is how a semi-automatic trigger on a firearm works, because they didn't know.
Yeah.
But they want to rule on something.
They're just listening to the bugs that are buzzing in their ear is all they're listening to.
They're listening to the crickets.
Yeah.
The crickets. The large ass crickets in Paul's garage. But no, so guys, if you want a copy, you want to get this, you can go to again, shop studentofthegun.com.
Shop SOTG. Shop SOTG. And Zach will touch your package and he will hand it to you.
There you go.
Ship it to you.
Can they get autographed? Can they get autographed?
The person who wins today will get an autograph copy.
That's right. We are doing it. Oh, I'm glad you remind me. I got to go.
Forgot about that. Yeah.
I got to go let's go to listener questions. So, as I'm pulling up listener questions, Paul, and you've met Nick. You know Nick. Unlike
Dave
the rest of us.
No, Dave knows him.
I've known Nick for a long time.
Okay. And we will probably never see him out in public. Just
you might
because
have. You just didn't know it was him.
Possibly.
He likes his privacy. He keeps a low profile.
My question is, will we ever be able to get Nick on the show? Maybe we can like disguise his voice, or something like that.
That CNN blackout thing with the voice modulator.
And they talk like this and blah, blah, blah. Yeah.
Like when they bring out a CIA informant that needs to keep their identity.
Yeah, but you can tell who it is, and they don't disguise their voice that well.
I think I just need to invite Nick to my house. He can sit to my right. People can ask questions, and then I'll talk to him and go, he says that's a bunch of crap.
All right, so I am here, and
you are there.
Mustang Perry. He says, I have never read anything by him, but have heard great things. Can you jump in anywhere, or is there a good place to start? Looking forward to what all the guests have to say. So I kind of talked about that. As far as this book goes, it is a standalone at this point until the sequel comes out.
Which is next week.
Which is, next week comes out. So you won't have to wait very long. But his other books, I think you could still jump in and read them. And
oh yeah,
you don't have to do them in any certain order.
The first Pipe Hitter's Guide, the Pipe Hitter's Guide to Crushing the Coming Societal Breakdown, is a real. Dave, did you read that one?
I have not gone cover to cover on that. I went through and I pick and choose.
Shame on you, but that one's kind of a real. That is a real slap in the face. Like there's no, well, maybe if things don't go well, it's essentially, look, you need to take control of your own family, your own community. You need to talk to your neighbors, and you need to look at this as if I've got time today.
Yep.
I may not have time to prepare tomorrow or the next day. So what can I start doing right now? What do I, as an individual, and it's, ladies and gentlemen, and Talking Lead audience, you've got enough guns. You got enough guns. Stop buying guns. Start buying night vision. Start buying water purification systems. I've had people
pay for training.
I've had pay for training. Medical training. And I've had people who say, well, I have in my garage stored up in a bucket, I have heirloom seeds. And I'm like, cool, that's awesome. Do you have a garden? No. So their plan is to wait until the apocalypse and then learn how to plant a garden. My mom's been planting gardens for 60 years. And the first year you plant a garden, you're not going to get much out of it because it's a learning process.
Yep.
You're going to make a lot of mistakes. Things aren't going to go well. That's you don't want to plant a garden, when people are starving is the wrong time to put seeds in the ground.
Again, proactive, not reactive.
Yep.
You gotta be
it's also
proactive.
seasonal. It's seasonal. If you
It is seasonal.
You're just going to come out and plant stuff.
And it takes a couple of seasons to get that soil right too.
People that say they're going to tear up their, well, if I ever had to, I'd just go in my backyard and I'd take the grass out and I'd plant crops. Your backyard is not designed to sustain crop growth.
No. Next question.
Good.
Yeah,
but
let's
the
move
answer,
on. Jerry Black, loved the Nicholas Orr Pipe Hitter's Guide series and the Operator series. I don't have this one yet. If I don't win, it will be in my library soon. I still think Professor Paul needs to do the audio book. And then he asked me about my holster in the picture there. Yes, that is a crossbreed holster that I have in that picture that I used. It's an ankle holster. I don't wear it a lot, but I like it. B. Hurst, good stuff. Mr. Orr and Marco should team up on a book. Paul, too.
There you go.
Can you?
You should do that.
Trinity. That'd be kind of fiction. I think you guys should team up on a fiction book. That would be awesome.
There you go.
Yeah, we'll get Marco involved. He could do all the Soviet Russian side of the shit. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be.
Corey Brown just has a meme on here, and I don't know what it is. It's just some dude bobbing his head in a Hawaiian shirt. Some cartoon. You know what cartoon that is?
Oh, that's the Family Guy thing. The giggity giggity.
I never watched it. Okay.
I watched it, but I don't know
I guess that's a good thing. That's not a Hawk Tui meme.
No,
that's
a positive one. I think that's like
okay.
that's like a thumbs up.
I thought he was doing the Hawk Tui stuff. So I made a late post, so I apologize. But did you post it on your website? Do you have any questions?
Yeah,
or comments?
I shared it with ours, but I all the things that you just read, I already read earlier.
Okay.
Is
anybody
watching live?
We're not doing it live. I don't do live.
Oh, we're recording it. That's right.
Yeah, that's why I asked for the questions, and we read them on air. So there we go. That's them. Unless I'm missing, let me see, because sometimes Instagram will block stuff too, and I can't see.
No,
I
can't believe that.
Yeah. What? They wouldn't throttle your stuff.
So as we bring that up, Leadheads, if you're listening to this, go to Student of the Gun. Go to their Instagram. Dave, do you do any of that? But you're with Ed Brown, so Dave's with Ed Brown.
I'm with Ed Brown.
I'm sure they have Instagram, social medias, and then of course ours. When you see us make a post, reshare, like, comment on that, because it helps us get through this shadow banning and these bullshit algorithms that they have. So the more interaction that we have, the more our post is going to get out to the people who actually want to see it. I can't tell you how many listeners have emailed me or messaged me and said, "Hey man, I'm not seeing your post." I'm like, "Well, we're posting. You can go to the direct thing and see." And he's like, "Yeah, I see that, but I used to get notifications." Well, Instagram periodically will go through and they'll shut your notifications down.
Yep.
So people who signed up to get the notifications aren't getting them. So you have to go and re-click that button, and you got to be a little proactive. So again, don't be reactive, be proactive, and make sure that you're signed up to get notifications from Student of the Gun, Talking Lead, Ed Brown, all of our sponsors, Mission First Tactical, Pioneer Arms, or you're going to miss out. Like the mystery coin challenge giveaway that we did. At NRA, we gave out 300 of these, Paul and Dave.
I got one from Ton.
Okay.
Ton gave me one, and I
Okay.
I don't know what the number is on mine, but I do have one from Ton.
Well, we made the announcements. We announced all three special logos that were on these. One had a 2A logo on it. One had Ton Jones's logo on it, and one had Pioneer Arms Corps logo on it. The one with the Pioneer Arms Corps logo won a 7.62, or no, he won a 5.56, I think, AK, and then a swag pack from Firebird Targets and some other stuff. The other two, the previous two, never contacted me. So,
welcome to my world, brother. We've given away guns and had to pull like 4 names before somebody finally responded and said, "That's me."
I don't do that. You don't respond. You got to listen to the show. I don't contact winners.
Right.
Sometimes we will pick another winner, but a lot of times we just donate it to Sheepdog Impact Assistance. Some good veterans organization. But
yeah, there you go.
2. So the one with the 2A logo and the one with the Ton Jones logo missed out. Those are expired. So if you had those, too bad, so sad you missed out on those awesome prize packages that we gave away on those. And all you had to do was hold on to your coin, listen to the show, and if we announced that you had that one, then you won. So we did give the first one another go on Father's Day. It was like, if anybody got one of these coins and you're a father, send me a picture of you with your kid and your coin, and you would have gotten the first package. So,
Oh, that's awesome.
but nobody contacted us. So there you go. I can't believe out of 300 of those that we gave out, we only had one person contact us as a winner. So
you can lead a horse to water.
You can't make them drink.
Can't make them think. That's right.
You just can't. We've given away, over a dozen guns this year already on this podcast alone. So,
wow, very cool.
The Kel-Tec Sub 2000 is a name and firearm platform synonymous with innovation. This year, we're looking forward to welcoming even more to the fold with a twist. The new Sub 2003 takes Kel-Tec's iconic folding carbine to the next level by allowing you to leave a fixed optic, lights, sights, or other accessories on the firearm even when it's folded away. To fold the carbine for storage, press down on the trigger guard while pulling back on the end. Rotate or twist the forend until a side slot on the leading end snaps into the retention latch on the buttstock. To unfold the carbine into the firing position, press the latch release button on the end of the buttstock and pull the forend up and away, while rotating or twisting it until the forend engages with an audible snap into the back half of the carbine. Compact and ready for use, the Sub 2003 weighs in unloaded at 4.2 pounds, with a compact folded length of 16.15 inches and an overall length of 30.45 inches when unfurled for use. From the backcountry to personal protection, this versatile go-anywhere tack driver is the perfect multi-purpose addition to any collection. Innovation, performance, Kel-Tec.
all right. So let's pick our winner for the Nick Orr signed Blood Trail.
Woohoo!
And we'll let Dave, of those questions that people that I just read, pick one. Or Paul, you want to pick them?
No, Dave can do it. Let Dave do it.
I'm trying to think what the damn questions were now.
There really weren't any questions. It was just mainly comments.
They're more like statements, yeah.
Mainly Family Guy. He put in the least effort. Family Guy gets it.
All right. So that was, I got to pull
That'll
it up.
teach you. You'll never ask me to do that.
Hey, man, that's about as random as you can get. So that is Corey Brown. Corey Brown. And Corey made these awesome bottle openers for us to give out at NRA. So we gave out a bunch of these bottle openers. And he did a few special ones.
There you go.
Pioneer released their Hell Puppy, the shortest, smallest AK-47 on the market. And that's their logo. That's their logo for it right there. So,
hey, can I tell my wife that I'm almost done?
Is that her nagging? I thought that was the chickens.
Oh no, there's babies.
Oh, let's see the babies. There they are.
Look.
Hey, Knucklehead.
Say hi, Marty.
Hi, Knucklehead.
All right, come over on this side, Ruthie.
Hi.
So much like her mom.
Oh, you just dropped her like a sack of potatoes.
Well, she didn't put her feet down. There. Oh,
there's my girl. Hey, Ruthie.
There you go.
How are you?
Wave to Uncle Marty. She can't hear you because I got these in, but
that's right.
She's
So
waving to you.
I said happy 4th of July.
All right, Marty says hi. Yep, the babies they're going out to check on the chickens.
Yeah, now get out of here, kids.
Yeah, they're going out to check on the chickens.
All right, so there's our winner, Corey Brown. You know what the drill? Email me. I'll forward your info on to Nick.
The shipping ogre.
The shipping ogre.
We'll make sure the shipping ogre takes care of it.
You don't get one like this, but you get the civilian copy. So.
Wow.
But that's cool. So there's one coming out. So as you guys are listening to this, it's probably already out, and they can go to the same place. They go to Amazon, or they
can go to Amazon right now and just type in Nicholas Orr, and all the books will be there. And the reason you said, boy, I wish you would do more. Well, you're going to get your wish. the more of the stuff. And for all, here's a teaser. I talked to Nick before we did the show, and those of you who are dedicated Nicholas Orr fans who have read the previous series, the Operator series, there just might be some people who that might be showing up in the sequel.
Oh,
so yeah,
am I going to be in there?
Oh, I don't think you're going to be in there, Marty.
Oh, damn it!
Were you in the first 5?
I don't think
the
so.
Operator books. Yeah.
Didn't Nick put Marty in the second book, and was he killed early?
Yeah, he was killed off in the first
his
chapter.
own business on a radio show, and the invaders decided that guy's got too much of a following. He's talking smack about us. He's got to go down.
Yeah.
I thought that was Paul. I thought that was Paul. But no, here are his Pipe Hitter series of books. And how many's he got out total?
What is it? Is it 12 now?
He's got a bunch out.
Well, there's the Operator series, which has 5.
Yep.
There's the and then there's a compilation book. The Field Ops is books 1, 2, and 3 all combined into a single volume.
Okay.
The trilogy. And then there's 7 books right now in the actual Pipe Hitter Guide series.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then we've got so there's that, and then there's the first Pipe Hitter novel series, which is Blood Trail, and the follow up to Blood Trail is going to be the one that you just featured at the top there. It's called Cut Off.
Cut Off.
Yeah, Cut Off. And like I said, right, you can go into right now. You can pre-order that so that the minute that it is live, you'll get it.
There you go. And you can get it for $4 on Kindle.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
But does it have audible narration?
See, I think I should do the audible narration because I can do some voices. I can do some crazy voices of people and whatnot.
Voices.
I think you can do that.
Get to the plane. Get to the chopper. I could do a Tony. I could do a Guido. Hey, come on, Tony. What's the matter?
I don't think there's any.
Forget about it.
There's no New Jersey Italians in this one.
Oh, okay. Forget about it. Maybe we could make one of them that way. It's like they thought they heard that, mid Southerner accent, but no, he's it's like those people who knocked on my door today said they were from Manchester, but no, he was clearly from New Jersey. Yeah, you need to put a new roof on you here, man. You had some tornado damage and stuff. Your neighbors got it.
Yeah, it's like the ones that come around to resurface your driveway.
Oh, I don't.
Oh, your neighbors had their drive. We're in the neighborhood, and we're resurfacing your neighbor's drive. While we're here, do you want us to do yours?
Yeah, I don't have asphalt.
You want us to spray oil on your driveway and then leave, and
yeah, there you go.
In 2 weeks, it'll be gone.
There was a Bill Paxton movie.
Will Paxton?
Bill
Paxton. Which one was that?
It was about the Travelers. And I think Mark Wahlberg was in it. But no, they were doing exactly what Marty was talking about. It's like they wheel up and they go, hey, you probably need some new deal. And then the guy goes, you son of a guns came by here 2 years ago and the first rain it all washed away. And and it's time for us to leave. Whoops.
Yeah. Bunch of criminals. So that does it, guys. Go visit the website, buy the book, look for the new one coming out. Cut Off?
Cut Off. Yep. It's called Cut Off.
Cut Off. And it's not about transsexuals. It's the sequel to Blood Trail.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And make sure you go support our sponsors, Mission First Tactical. It being summertime and being hot, they have this new thing called the belly band holster.
He really had me worried there for a second when he
I thought he was going to show us his short.
Like
Very,
it's hot. You're going to have to check this out. I'm like, oh, dear
it's
Lord.
airy. It's breathable. It doesn't make you sweat. But it's easy go. You slap it on, slap it off. If you're exercising, you're running, you're just out wearing your shorts. Very comfortable, very concealable. Belly band holster. Use the code LEADHEAD. You're going to get 25% off. But they got a deal right now, as a matter of fact. I think they got like 70% off going through the holiday. So go take advantage of that. You get 70% off.
I'm going to go check that out.
Go missionfirsttactical.com. And I don't know if there's a code or not, but if you go to their Instagram, they've got it up. I made a post about it. But if you use code LEADHEAD, you're going to get 25% off anything on the store. So I don't know if that 70 is just limited to certain items, but go take advantage of it. Their magazines, their AR accessories, their holsters, their drinky drinks. You've been seeing me. You see me every episode. I'm drinking from my Mission First Tactical drinky drink.
I have some of those. I love those friggin' things. Those are the best gift ever for guys like us.
Oh, yeah. They got like C4. They got the smoke. They got all kinds of different ones.
I got one of the CS ones.
So go check them out. Whiskey River Beef. This is the time of the year where you're going to want to grill out. You're going to want to have people over. Impress them with Whiskey River Beef. They've got steaks. They've got ground beef. You can order a whole cow. You can order a half a cow, quarter a cow. Go in with your neighbors. Get your fire team together if you guys are protecting your neighborhood. And it'd be a perfect way to bond and get your neighbors together. Order some Whiskey River Beef. Use the code TalkingLead10 to get 10% off any of your orders there. It's shipped directly to your door, dry ice packed, ready to go. So stock up and store up on that. We're going to be doing some giveaways with them coming up. I've got gnats coming from somewhere. Freaking gnat time of year.
They migrated from the crickets.
I guess so.
The crickets don't crawl on you, though.
They'll eat these gnats. Maybe I need to get some crickets. You go to Keltec, you can get 15% off any of their items in their pro shop at Keltec, not weapons, but any of their accessories, their clothes. Leadhead, you get 15% off Keltec. Lockdown, you see my wall back here with my guns on it. You go to lockdown.com, use the code. I think it's Leadhead also, Leadhead, and you get 15% off. They've sent me some new accessories to go on that wall. I haven't put them up yet, but that's coming. I'll show you guys what that looks like coming up soon. Firebird targets. Again, 4th of July, you like explosions. You like going on the range and having the explosions. Use the Firebird targets, and you'll have some of the funnest range days you've ever had in your life. Use the code TalkingLead15, get 15% off at Firebird targets. And then, of course, Seal One for all your gun clean and lubricating needs. Not just your guns, but it works on your knives. It works, you cleaning your knives, protect your knives. I even use it on my car. I put stuff on my car, on my lawnmower. This stuff works really good. Seal One and done. Use the code LEADHEAD, and you get 25% off at Seal One. And then primary Pioneer Arms Corps. You guys, I mean, this is unheard of. The prices that they have on the AKs. These are just the best AKs, the best priced AKs on the market today. You can go to their website and buy their blim. We've talked about their blims. They're not, there's nothing wrong with them. They had some kind of cosmetic thing, and they've probably been fixed. They're already marked down like $50 to $100 below where you can get them anywhere else. Get another $25 off plus 2 additional magazines at pioneerarmsus.com. And they've got other accessories too. So like RPK stocks, you can buy those. The code doesn't work on those, but they've got those. They got the adapters that you can put on the muzzle. So you can take that left-hand thread adapter off, put their adapter on, and then you can put regular muzzle devices on there, 308s, 5.56, whatever caliber that you're going with. It works really good with the suppressors too on those adapters. So go check them out, Pioneer Arms USA, and then be looking for CJ. He's taking a trip from Florida to Alaska And I know he's going to make a stop here to see me at some point in time. But if you spot CJ's Toyota, pull him over, tell him you're a leadhead, you enjoy the show, appreciate them sponsoring it. He will give you a gun. Not right there on the spot, but he'll need your FFL
right there. Right
and all that. But he'll probably give you a patch and some other stuff right there on the spot. But he's giving away. So whoever spots him, pulls him over, you're going to get a gun. So there you go. Paul, Dave, I appreciate you guys taking the time to be on. I really enjoyed this book from Nicholas Orr. Let Nicholas know how much I appreciated it. And I'm looking forward to next week's drop of the sequel to this. So I gotta definitely check the sequel out. This would make a good little mini series thing too, on one of these what is it, Netflix or Prime?
Angel 2 Network or something like that, yeah.
I don't know. Never heard of Angel 2, but whatever.
They're the ones that did The Chosen, and Angel 2 is doing the they just wrapped on the Jeff Kirkham's book. They're calling it
Autumn, Black Autumn.
Black Autumn. So they turned Black Autumn into a movie, and it's going to be out before Christmas. It's going to be called Homestead. And then a little birdie told me that as soon as Homestead drops, they're going to do a television series based on the books.
Nice. I knew they were doing something with it, but I hadn't heard the status lately. So, yeah, we'll be keeping our eyes out for that. You still talk to Jeff much?
Oh, I talk to him all the time. He's my homie.
Well, tell him I said hey, and that I would love to get him on, and let's talk about the series when it drops. Get him on.
There you go.
We'll talk about it. Dave, Ed Brown, anything going on with Ed Brown?
We just started doing a update to the Springfield Prodigy. It's kind of slick. You might want to check that out. And then the other thing that I think is probably going to be released next week, perhaps the week after. The one of our longest top sellers is the Cobra Carry, Commander size 45. It's got the bobtail on it. Well, we also do a line of 9mm 1911s we call Evo. Well, very soon you're going to be able to buy a complete replacement top end, and if you have a Cobra Carry, you can make that into a 9mm, or you can buy a gun. It's the whole thing. You get the magazine, you get the slide lock lever.
Whole kit.
Actually run through the link bushing or the link on the barrel. That I think is going to be pretty slick, and it kind of goes to some of the stuff we're talking about. When ammo starts getting tight, being able to get either type of ammo, 9 or 45, kind of comes in handy.
Diversity, yeah.
You only find 45, you need to be able to have something to use it. If you've only got 9, something uses it. Thanks for the time. I wasn't appreciating the plug, but yes, wrong side. There we go.
EB.
Very cool. So Leadheads, go and show all the sponsors some love, buy their products, share, like on the grams. Same thing with our guests, Paul, student of the gun. Go and show them some love. Listen to the podcast. And then, Ed Brown, you guys into the 1911s. It doesn't get any better than Ed Brown. So go show Dave some love by supporting Ed Brown there.
Dave can use some love. Look at this.
There you go. Especially with that Stetson he's got on. I love it. But till the next episode, Leadheads, as always, keep your loved ones close.
Your firearms closer.
There you go.
You nailed it that time. Perfect.